Good evening. Welcome to 4-H Shooting Sports, Shooting Better Scientifically. We're excited to have you back on this lesson on growth mindset.
The science and magic of 4-H youth development.
Absolutely. And again, there's a whole lesson plan that we'll be going through and demonstrating for you tonight on what is growth mindset that you'll be coaching. And so when you're thinking about what can you expect from the youth that you're going to be coaching and doing this lesson with, it's definitely going from what is a fixed mindset to what is a growth mindset. And then once they have that understanding, Chandra, what would we like to see happen?
We would like to see you change their fixed mindset to a growth mindset statement. So knowing how to change not just how they're thinking, but how to put it into words.
And then we love to see them take those thoughts and words and put them into action and hopefully even a little bit of a belief system. We'll see if you can accomplish that because at some point you're all going to be coaching me tonight. So get those fingers ready to be in the chat or ready to unmute. Who are you, ma'am?
I am Chandra Plate. I am the 4-H shooting sports specialist at Kansas State University 4-H, and I am the Northwest 4-H specialist as well for the state of Kansas.
And I am Tammy Stewart, a proud volunteer of 4-H, not only in Nebraska, but also nationally, working with shooting sports ambassadors at the state level.
Didn't realize that you used the same Zoom
coordinator with Chandra and some other people that teach the coordinator class. The lesson that we are focusing on tonight, and besides growth mindset, whoa, that wasn't supposed to happen, includes 3 life skills that we've chose. And so critical thinking will come up later and be defined within the lesson. Resiliency will be defined within the lesson. But Chandra, what is learning to learn? Because we don't define that one during the lesson. That's more just for you as a 4-H leader.
Learning to learn is helping instill a love for lifelong learning and helping youth to just really love learning and want to continue learning throughout the rest of their entire lives.
Thank you so much. You guys must be like gorgeous or something because my computer does not want to go off of where we're at on the slides. So this is fun to see. Our moderator tonight is Scott Stewart. He is the coordinator for the National 4-H Shooting Sports, I didn't say championships, National 4-H Shooting Sports Program. And he's going to help do some shout outs on this question that we have on the screen. So everything that we're going to be doing in the upcoming months is around the 4-H thriving model. And Chandra, what's the big question? We either want them to raise their hand and we'll call on them or to type in the chat.
So what factors contribute to a 4-H member's growth mindset?
So what's coming to your mind, Chandra, as we're waiting for Scott to monitor that chat for us?
The desire to get better at something.
I think it's that ability to listen to something internal, maybe when they're hearing something else externally. What else?
Success.
Tell us more about that, Scott.
Just what was written in the chat. So the chats are starting to pop up. We have success and encouragement, make learning fun, teamwork, to have a good time.
So true, Tammy. If we are not having a good time, it's harder to want to learn something new if it's not fun.
I agree. And I will tell you, because what we're doing tonight, what you guys will be coaching me on, I'm pretty nervous about, but yet it's also so fun that it's making me really want to like be vulnerable to all of you and have you coach me. What else are we hearing in the chat, Scott?
Engagement with peers is there. Desire to engage with the group and or activity. Being able to try new things. Willingness to try something new. Make sure that you make the lesson or project fun for others. Teach others. Constant improvement.
Awesome. Thanks everybody for all of your replies. We appreciate those. And of course, we're an extension of 4-H. So we're always looking for what's the research base behind what we're going over and teaching tonight. And I love the first one. And it's about when you are trying to do something, we think we can multitask, but the research shows that we can't. We can only concentrate on one thing at a time. So tonight, when I do my shooting that you guys coach me on, I'm only going to concentrate on one thing at a time. Okay, Chandra, what's next?
Keeping your mental picture centered on what you are doing and the execution of what you're doing and not the outcome. So if you are trying to improve on a certain skill, focusing on improving on that skill and not exactly what the outcome is, because it might be harder at first. For example, if you are changing your shooting position because of a dominant eye.
Absolutely. And the next one goes back to the 4-H motto. And so many times when we read the 4-H motto, we're thinking about we're striving for perfection, but actually what we're doing is we're trying to strive for growth. So if you have a young person striving for perfection, go help them kind of adjust that mindset to go to a growth mindset where it's about how do I grow to make the best better. And Chandra, what's the last one?
The more we think about, talk about, and write about something happening, we improve the probability of that happening. So if I am thinking about something positive happening, it's more likely to happen. But if I am also thinking about something negative happening, that's more likely to happen. So, for example, if I am coaching a youth and I tell them not to put their finger on the trigger, what are they going to do?
Put their finger on the trigger, because that's what I'm thinking.
Exactly. So coaching them in a positive way and telling them where to put their finger instead is a better way to do that and improve their probability of being able to follow through with a growth mindset on that.
So now that we know the science behind all of this, let's delve into the lesson. And just as a reminder, this lesson is going to be printable. It's laid out in a way that it's bolded where it's your turn to talk as the coach, and in parentheses where you're taking answers and looking for replies. It also gives you examples in parentheses. And so again, this will be on the website following. So are you ready to do some coaching of me, Chandra?
Absolutely. So
well, let's get started then.
Who do you think said, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed.
Michael Jordan.
Ooh, somebody already got it. Way to go.
Yes, Michael Jordan said that. And he is considered one of the most successful basketball players of all time. And so, again, growth mindset.
And so can you imagine what happened if Michael Jordan would have said, I can't, every time he missed a shot?
I can't imagine that, Tammy.
Having that belief that you can grow and be better than you are today is really important to success.
So, Tammy, what is a challenge that you would like to overcome?
A challenge I would like to overcome. Do you want me to do it now, or when we get down into the steps?
Okay, we can go wait for the steps. Sure.
Okay.
So today we're going to name a challenge we'd like to overcome and work on a method to overcome it. And we're going to change that fixed mindset to a growth mindset using the 2 life skills, critical thinking and resiliency. So what is the definition for critical thinking?
So yes, as a youth, I would love to read this for the club. It's our strategies for, well, if it would stay up. It's our strategies for analyzing, comparing, reasoning, and reflecting, focused on deciding what to believe or do, discovering the meaning before it goes away.
There you go.
Ah!
Ooh, we're in a hurry tonight. I get our slideshow's in a hurry anyway. So resiliency is the ability to recover after experiencing misfortune or distress. So that is exactly what Michael Jordan was talking about. Coping with change and overcoming problems and difficulties.
So just as we're going to take kind of a pause from Chandra coaching me right now, we're still in the introduction phase of the lesson. And so we went in and to get your attention, and we went ahead and introduced the topic. And now the next thing that's kind of something we often neglect is establishing credibility. And so this is where Chandra's story is going to come in that leads into the lesson as she establishes her credibility as a coach tonight. So timeout done. You're back on, Chandra. Be the coach.
Okay, so where have I had to apply resiliency? If you would ask me 10 years ago if I would be a 4-H shooting sports, if I would be certified in any discipline in 4-H shooting sports, I would have said absolutely not. If you'd asked me if I'd be a statewide 4-H shooting sports specialist, I would have probably fallen over in my chair. And so as I thought about trying to get certified in the first discipline that I got certified in, I went to my first training, and it was kind of a struggle because I have never been a huge hunter or shooting sports person, but I was learning a lot of things all at the same time. And that kind of goes back to our focus on one thing at a time thing. And so it was hard for me to succeed right away, but I had an instructor who stopped and taught me one thing at a time. And I became resilient, and I really grew to love 4-H shooting sports, as you can tell, because it's one of my passions, because I believe this is one of the places that we are doing youth and adults, our adult leaders, justice in 4-H.
Well, Coach, I'm glad that you didn't say I can't be part of 4-H shooting sports.
Yes. So when was the last time I said I can't do something? Tammy, what about you?
The last time I said I can't do something was trying to reach something off of a top shelf earlier today.
Fucking folds them up.
That probably doesn't surprise anybody. If you've ever stood next to me, you know how short I am.
Very good. All right. So, do we have the next slide?
We can. Do you want me to cover this part about growth mindset?
Sure, please.
So when we say I can't do something, we have a fixed mindset. And I've determined and told myself that I'm not capable. I fix myself on not being successful. However, if we add the word yet, suddenly it is possible, such as I can't hit the 25 score yet. So let's take your can't that you shared and add the word yet. So I can do that. I can't reach the top shelf yet, until I get my stool out to reach it.
Very good. And so helping them to see that they need to, if they add the word yet to their kit, that makes it possible. Okay. So Tammy, what is something that you would like to improve upon?
So as you can tell in the picture here, we were shooting whip topping at the leader training in Kentucky. And we put it on our wrist and had to launch it up in the air and catch it with our mouth. And I closed my eyes.
Ah, look
So,
at the picture. She closed her eyes.
yeah. And what a lot of people don't know, because in shooting sports, we're always back by the shoulder, coaching from the shoulder, is that I close my eyes when I shoot. I close my eyes when I catch a ball. And obviously, I close my eyes when I'm trying to catch whipped cream just in time for Thanksgiving. So I wanted to improve upon not closing my eyes.
Okay. So why do you want that goal? What are the reasons you would want that goal?
So the reasons that I listed, as you can see here, is obviously I want to shoot better because then I'll have more confidence and then I'll enjoy being with all of you more at 4-H shooting sports events, not worried that you're going to find out that I have this flaw about me and then be embarrassed if you actually see it.
Okay. Good. So you would have your youth set up as partners in talking through these different questions. And so Tammy, would you tell us why you don't already have that goal now?
So I think there's two reasons. Number one is I'm embarrassed to ask for help because it seems like such a simple solution. And I think the other part is when I have asked for help at different 4-H shooting sports coaching events, are like, open your eyes, Tammy. Just open your eyes. But obviously, I need a coach that can help me with that.
Okay. So what do you need to learn?
I've been thinking about this, and it's somewhere between having confidence and having my eyes open, or figuring out what my fear is so I can overcome that fear of why I closed them in the first place, which I did have a softball hit me in the nose and it broke my nose. So I'd like to blame that, but it probably happened because my eyes were closed. I can't probably really blame that.
We don't know. Maybe it didn't. Who knows, right? So there are different methods that we use to help us improve and reach our goal. One of the methods is what can you do, Tammy?
I could ask my coaches for advice.
Oh, yeah.
I could ask one of my peers that are able to do what I want to be able to do. Or I can go online and find out how different people have encountered this and what drills or practices they put into place to overcome whatever their challenge is.
So there's different avenues that you can seek out. And so Tammy, what is your method?
I'm going to ask my peers.
Arrow.
I do. I'm going to ask my peers for help. So
awesome.
The 47 people on this call today, I want to know, what are your ideas? Help coach me on how can I keep my eyes open or have confidence to keep my eyes open. Do we want them to raise their hand or type in the chat? Or both?
I think they can do both.
Okay. So what are we hearing? Chandra, be my first peer. What would be yours? Your advice to me?
My advice to you would be to pick something that is not going to hurt you. Such as a Nerf, oh yeah, whipped cream, a can of whipped cream, and shoot that and see how, if you can keep your eyes open while you're shooting something that you know is not going to hurt. Oh, there's a cool idea. Say bang as you apply the trigger pressure.
Make sure you keep your message positive. Don't, instead of saying don't close your eyes, tell them what you want. Keep your eyes open. Right? That's a big thing about always telling youth what you expect out of them, what you want. Mark's idea is, well, try just keeping your dominant eye open at first. See if you can keep one eye open to start with, and slowly work into being able to keep two eyes open.
Awesome.
Now you guys, and this goes back to working on one thing at a time, because the other thing I do is I close my non-dominant eye when I shoot. So that's like, as much as we like to correct that now too, we're going to focus on one thing, which is just keeping my eyes open, period.
Right.
Okay. Any
So
others?
Yep. So try to focus on the front sight. See if it makes movement. So if you're focusing on your sight when you're shooting, and see if it moves, that might help you determine, or, you know, help you be able to keep both eyes open. Figure out what the fear is. Why are you shutting your eyes? What's that? And try to overcome from what that is causing that. A blinder might help, especially if you're shooting to help keep your non-dominant eye. Practice over and over to get used to the motions step by step. Use dummy rounds or dry fire. Some
Ooh,
really
I
good
like
ideas.
that one. Go ahead. Are there any more, Scott?
Oh, so chapstick on your shooting glasses, on the non-dominant eye, sometimes helps making sure that you're focused.
Hey, Tammy, back to that dry fire idea.
Are we ready?
Sure.
So the way that Todd had us do this when we were in Kentucky, thanks Todd Williver for this. He's going to write this up as a lesson, which I'm super excited. Okay, so he had it put on our wrist, and I need to be accountable so you guys can see this, right? You guys want me to turn off the slides or leave them on as I do this?
It'd be easier to see your eyes if you turn the slides off and or have a bigger picture. There we go.
Now this is me like totally really what do I want to say, exposing myself, being vulnerable. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna dry fire 4 times, and then the 5th time I'll put the ammo on my wrist. So and I forgot to bring a rag in here with me, which means I'm gonna have great success, right? All right, here we go. It's brand new. Just so y'all know, I brought pumpkin pie too to go with this.
Oh yeah.
Are you going to throw that up and catch it too?
No. Okay. Okay, I can do this. I can keep my eyes open and catch this whipped cream. I can keep my eyes open and catch this. I can keep my eyes open and catch the whipped cream that never came off. Try that again. I think I'm gonna bruise. Like, I think I hit too hard. Okay. I can keep my eyes open. Oh my gosh, why won't it come off?
You are
Somebody help
keeping
me.
your eyes open though, and you're dry firing.
I know. Did you say I am keeping my eyes open?
Yes, you are. There you go. Good job.
Okay. I don't know why it won't come off. So
You got the sticky kind.
my shooting vest is gonna be so sticky because I'm wiping all over it. Okay, I'll try one more time. I guess I could try it. No, I don't want to try it. Maybe it needs to be here. I should look at those pictures again about how he did this. Okay. Nope, it's not coming.
But your
Anyway.
eyes stayed open.
They did?
Yes.
Okay. Let me share my screen again. All right, go for it, Chandra.
Okay, so we're going to have the shooters go to the line and ask them what happened with your I can't once you move to a growth mindset. Tammy, what happened to your I can't once you move to a growth mindset?
I lost it.
Good. What happened with your I can when you moved to that growth mindset?
I got excited.
Very
And
good.
yeah, there's like this bubbling up inside of me.
Good. And how is using a growth mindset? What will you continue to work on going forward?
Putting pumpkin pie on my wrist first and then adding it. Finding
Pumpkin
new
pie
ways
too.
and asking more people and looking at the comments of what advice everybody gave. So then I can try other things too, as whether I'm doing archery or rifle or muzzleloader or whatever I'm shooting.
Awesome. So, as we look at growth mindset, how would we debrief, Tammy?
Highlight, low light, and insight. And definitely for sure highlight insight on growth mindset. So
And how would we use that for those who maybe haven't had the training recently and aren't really familiar with highlight, low light, insight debriefing?
so since I'm the youth, you would ask me what was your highlight from this growth mindset experience we had tonight. And my answer would be I found my I can. And then you would ask them what was your low light. My low light was whipped cream wouldn't come off my wrist. And but as far as growth mindset goes, what was my low light? Just realizing that it's probably not one thing that I need to correct. It's probably a few things.
Okay. And what
And
about
then,
insight?
yeah, then you'd ask them what's your insight or what's a lesson that you're going to take away from this or something you'll remember about it. And my insight regarding the growth mindset lesson is the verbalization of I can. Because I found that I needed to actually say that out loud as I was getting ready to do it to pump myself up.
Very good.
So
this good.
I just say, so this lesson that we did for you tonight, this is where it ends. So we showed you where it showed the foosball players that this is where it begins, this is where it ends. And so, but now this is where your lesson as a leader comes in tonight. So in the chat, we would like you to answer on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your confidence level in teaching this mindset lesson once you get the lesson plan? And then what would make your confidence go to a 10 for teaching this? And if you want to say it out loud or you want to do it in the chat, we could do either way. So what's your confidence level? What are we seeing?
You're thinking.
Scott, after you saw this tonight, what's your confidence level on this and what would make it a 10?
So what would be my, after seeing this, what would be my confidence level of teaching the growth mindset?
Yeah.
Probably about a 7 or an 8. Just, there's just some glitches but I think once I get the lesson plan and work through it, do it a few times, I think it'd be really, really good. And utilizing this lesson to work with my students with. In the chat, we've got an 8, and it can be improved with repetition. Practice and review level 5 and then 10. A 7. Practice would help doing it with a couple kids first. 7, 8. I've got a couple 5s here. Well, sorry, I've got 1.5 that says, but it could improve with teaching and repetition. Maybe a 5 or so before, probably an 8 now, and probably could increase with practice. 5, 6, or 7s with better practice. 6 to 7.
This was my.
So just like anything, right? There's something new. It's always tough the first time, but as you get involved and do more about it, you just gets more confidence and be able to help teach this and help move youth forward.
Picture of him, but
I like the idea of the people that want to practice with a smaller group first. I like that idea a lot. I think that's where I'm at too. So, and then Brad brings up the Oreo method of coaching. That's awesome. That you say, you compliment them, say something to improve on, and then end with like a thank you or great job or something like that. So yay. Emily has 2 kids to be the guinea pigs. That's awesome. Yeah. So again, we'll make sure that this lesson gets up on the website when this recording is done, along with the slides from tonight. So you are all ready to teach growth mindset. And before we go into our second shot, we'll remind you that our next Shooting Better Scientifically is December 18th, where we will have a lesson on that you can take to your clubs on openness to challenge and discovery. How fun. With that, can you please pause the recording, Scott?
Yes, I will. I'm just going to shut it off.